unmute myself first. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Had a little bit of a issue, but I think we're good now. I had accidentally set the stream resolution to 4K because I was doing some recording. However, YouTube does not like the stream resolution to be 4K because it's a lot of data. It is a lot of data to be streaming. So I had to temporarily... Sup? Welcome, Sarah. Welcome, Paul. I had to temporarily end the stream. Hola. I had to end the stream in OBS. And then change the resolution. And then reconnect to the YouTube stream before YouTube timed out the video and ended the stream. So I had, like, a really short period of time to do that. But we're doing good. We're doing good. We're still alive. And now we seem to be streaming at a 1080p resolution, which is what YouTube wants. So yeah. Why don't we go ahead and just start whatever we were going to do, which was, I was noticing an issue. As many streams begin with this way. So basically, I was trying to take some screenshots. So, I mean, it's nighttime, but this should still serve the purpose of educating people on the issue. Basically, you got these guys. It's quite difficult to see them. It's quite difficult. But we can hopefully avoid them like this. They don't really stand out from the background. So, there's a couple ways I could fix that. Now, the ideal way... Basically, it's a little difficult to read the characters. And what I want to do today is see if I can tweak that a bit. Now, if I can go to Blender, so let's quit the game. Blender. And let me open up some music here. If we can get to that. Oh, Magical is still streaming, but let me find... there we go. The classic, our classic ambient background music. Let me just lower that a bit. Okay, so let's open up the skeleton. We were actually having a little bit of an issue. So I actually already tweaked this a little bit. So if we can go to rendered mode. I made this. Let's hide this guy here. That's not supposed to be. Anyway, this is not important right now. But we I want to make the bones and everything lighter. So what I should do is I should rebake the texture, but I can't do that while streaming because that will kill my computer and we will all disconnect. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm just gonna edit his texture, which is albedo here. So I'm gonna open wherever this is, and I'm just gonna edit it in GIMP to make it lighter. At least the bones part. Like, afterwards I'm gonna come back and fix it properly, but, so we get a resources, meshes, skeleton. You should be here somewhere. Yeah, so anyway, I did update the Steam page with a lot of new screenshots. So what I'm gonna... Yeah, sorry, I did update the Steam page with a lot of new screenshots. I think they all look better than the previous batch. But there's still work to be done. Like, I think it's really difficult, actually, I've found, to take good screenshots. Because you focus so much on the game, like, in motion, you don't really think, like, oh, what are all these poses and everything that's going to be when we're frozen in time. So I'm just going to mask out these parts. So I'm going to copy them onto a new layer so they don't get affected by my... Oh, shit, I don't need to do that because the new GIMP automatically creates new layers. Fantastic. Yeah, GIMP 3, much better than GIMP 2. Anyway, so I'm just masking out these little metal bits because we don't want to affect these. Oopsies. Why is that? Oh, I have the wrong layer selected. Okay. So now, these guys are all on their own layer. So now I can take this layer and I can do a brightness contrast. Yeah, so I could make the dark parts not... I think I want to instead use the levels. This is a little bit of an easier... So I want to make the average color lighter, but I do want there to be... So you can see they're all of us already a lot brighter, and then we can even... And then on top of that, because you see we made everything like a little bit more orange, I'm going to add a hue saturation. And now I can adjust the saturation just a little bit. Hopefully you can see the difference there to compensate. And now we can see this is before, after. So I think that's gonna pop way better. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this. Overwrite. But yeah, the ideal way would be to actually have done this rebaking in Blender, but we can't really do that on stream. But anyway, actually, we're getting back to the game, so we're gonna see the skeleton thing pop in. But while we do that, and I'm gonna need to mute that, bring that back up. What was I gonna say? I have soda. So, today we have something a little bit odd that I wouldn't have expected. This is some pomegranate soda, from of all places, Saudi Arabia, if that is a real country. Now, I assume it's gonna taste pretty good. I don't know. How could you go wrong with pomegranate soda? But we'll see. Yeah, that's all right. Kind of a weird... There's a weird aftertaste to it. I don't know how to describe it. It might just be the... Yeah. Is that... Yeah, I don't know if there's any pomegranate in here. I don't know if there's any actual pomegranate in here. It tastes a little odd. Not quite like pomegranate, but not... Like... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it just doesn't work with soda super well. But I'll finish it. So anyway, what we're doing, we're gonna go find the skeletons to see if they don't blend in as much. So hopefully we can see them better now. Oh, they're appearing as red. Why are they doing that? Let's look at their mesh, or I guess their log group. because they're using some LODs. I think I exported the, okay, so let's fix that. I need to do export as albedo, replace, but I accidentally exported it as a monochrome image. I need to do it as a color image because I'm often exporting things as monochrome for roughness maps and things like that. And I want to make sure there's no extra fat on them, as it were. So, but that's fine. We can just reload this guy here. Might take a second. Let's give it a minute. Okay, there we go. So that guy... I mean, he still looks like the same skeleton, but I do think he pops out more, which is good. Yeah. Like, here, I actually have a screenshot of this earlier so we can compare. But I do think that that's already an improvement. Oh, yeah. So, one second. My internet's being slow for some reason. Here we go. So, you can see, this is before. One second. This is what they kind of looked like before. And this is after. So I think that's already like a whole lot more readable. Yeah. Now that was actually just a quick test for reference, but let's see if I can do that using the shaders workflow here. So I'm gonna actually reload this because this is the image we just modified. Okay, and now, okay, I need to set this guy back to his idle animation or something like that so I can get a better look at him. And yes, he is wearing multiple hats because this is the same model as I'm using the same model, and he just switches on different hats or not, depending on if it's Luco or if it's one of the conquistadors. And also the armor is, we can see that these two, the skeleton with or without an armor is just toggling on and off one element. So that's one way that I save a little bit of memory and can instance these things a little bit better, is that like all those guys can get drawn together because they share materials and they share like most of their vertices. So yeah, it also helps load times because it deduplicates some of the data. But what was I doing? I was going to animation. Oh yeah, this is kind of fun. I was editing his so one tip, if this is a fun tip for animating in Blender, I wanted to kind of I wanted to modify the arc of the swing here for the skeletons. And Blender has a really fun, cool feature called motion paths. Now, if you're like into 3D animation, if you've been doing this for a long time, this is probably going to be a very basic feature to you. But basically, you can select an element. So I have this marker that I've just pinned to the end of the halberd here. And then if you go down into paths here, you can click update path, and it will move. It will show how this thing is going to move throughout the entire animation. So if I were to take this frame and I were to like, you know, let's say I would rotate this all the way out here, right? If I go back into here and I hit update path, it moved the thing back. So I actually don't want to do that, so I'm gonna move that back. So yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to set him to the idle animation, so I want to clear the path. Let's get him to idle. Okay, that's good enough. Because I just want to judge the color. So this is the skeleton high. Or skeleton low. Yeah, something looks off with him. Anyway. Oh, because he didn't have his subdiv enabled. Okay, that's why. Okay, so, is that... Okay, so that's actually a little bit more saturated. So I'm going to go into the shading thing. And I'm going to... I have quite a complicated shader so that we can do all the curvature and everything. I'm just going to take the... Where's the node that I had? Did I have a hue saturation? Yes. Okay, cool. Just going to take the saturation and bump it up by 1. And now, I think that's a little... There's probably a little bit more red in there. But I'll just leave it there for now. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you can see this is the high-res model that I used to bake the... okay, we can go into... this mode here, but yeah, it's got all the little teeth in here, and then I take this and then I transfer it to this low poly model here, and then once you turn on the, so you can see the teeth are just one piece here, whereas here they're individually modeled. And then you can take the here, once you turn on all the textures, all the teeth get put in via the normal maps and everything like that. So kind of an interesting thing. Anyway, so let's take some of the other tool. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save this as an XCF so that we retain all our filters that we had. Save that in documents for now, but we can put it in the game files later. Okay, so let's look at some of the other characters and see if we can get them to pop out a little more. I think actually, probably, I'm gonna mute the game music for a minute, but just have the, because we're gonna get back into Blender in a second. I think one character we want to probably work on is Carmen. So let's take a jaunt over to where she is. Yeah, I don't know what it is about this soda, but like it tastes like a little bit like rubber. Like not good at all. I would not, like, I don't know what it is, but yeah. Okay, so, well, we can talk to her to get her to stand up, but... So one piece of feedback that I've heard is that she looks a lot like Luis. Like, she probably needs some extra color on her or something. Which, because I think one of the better models that I've made is Pierre. So if we can teleport Pierre in here, actually, for just a second. Pierre's got a lot more going on. So he's got the double guns, he's got the sash, he's got the feather in his hat. Carmen's fine, but like I feel like she needs some colored accents or something on her outfit or something like that. So I think, I mean, we could do something like a sash, but I'm probably gonna want to get some reference images. Because, I mean, she's supposed to be the captain, so, like, I don't know how she can be dressed, like, less ostentatiously than Pierre. So, with that, I'm gonna get into Blender. What was I doing? I'm gonna close this. So, we're gonna open up, Carmen, where are ya? She's swimming at the moment, but I'm just gonna change her to idle. Okay, so, let's go into the modeling here, and we can look at our, yeah, she's got all sorts of, bones and everything, but, I'm gonna activate this group that's called Bake, and that's gonna give us the high poly, version of her. So, you can see she's red for, some reasons. Actually, that's the, okay, so yeah, cool. The reason why she's red is because we have this emission, thing, which, Blender, for some reason, doesn't like to bake metalness maps, and also I can't combine the metalness and the roughness into one thing, so I use the emission as just kind of a bake output so that both those things get combined into one map. So she's tinted red because she's rough, but I'm gonna go ahead and just temporarily turn off all the emission outputs. Actually, you know what? Let's turn them back. And I'm just gonna, instead, I'm gonna filter it in Blender. I'm gonna do diffuse color. Okay, cool. So that also shows her full bright, but I think that's actually kind of interesting because, yeah, because her shader is gonna add a little bit of, so, unfortunately, the high poly version doesn't have eyes, which is a little bit creepy, but, where's the, yeah, let's get that back in there. Okay, so, I like Pierre because Pierre has, like, a cool sash. So let's, can I open another window here of Blender? So that's, Connor, who we don't need to look at right now, but I'm gonna open up, Pierre. So maybe we can do a little bit of fabric. So there's this thing, which is Pierre's, sash. Now let's go into the, modeling window. Okay, this is, we have a low poly and a high poly version of the sash. The high poly version, we kind of got those, folds, if you go into here, just by adding some loops and pushing them in and out, which I think looks pretty good. Looks like cloth. Now, I'm gonna look at some, reference images. Okay. Oh, she could have, a little bit of a, bandana. That might, underneath her hat, she could do that. Yeah, it seems like that's actually pretty common there. Let's see, what would that look like? This is her. So I'm gonna do just a quick, like, I guess like a draft of what that might look like. Just because I want to see what it looks like. This is not going to be the model, but add a material. And I'm going to make it red. Actually, why not have it be purple? Let's just add some loops here. Actually, I'm going to disable the armature. Actually, or can I pop the armature into some kind of T-pose? You know what? I'm gonna add a new animation here, and it's just gonna be called XZZZ T-pose. The reason why it's ZZZ is because basically the animations are done alphabetically, and I want this to not interfere with the other ones. So if I put it as ZZZ, it's always going to be at the end, right? So hopefully that makes sense. So ZZZ T-pose. Now I'm going to go and select all of her bones and clear transform all. Now she is T-posed. And I'm going to copy that frame and put it here just so it's technically it's a looping animation in case I need to access it in the game. But, okay, so. This way I can model this here and then I can bring it to the high poly version if I want to use this as the final one. But anyway. Something's slow here. Could it just be because I have two... I still have two blenders open. That might be it. Don't save. It's a little bit better, I think. Okay, so... Also... Let me go into global here. That's screwing me up. I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to... shade smooth, and I'm going to add a sub-D modifier. We can add some more loops to it that should help prevent it from actually. Okay, that's cool. So that actually... Would her hair go over top of the bandana? Yeah, that might actually kind of work cool. And then it could come out here. Yeah, I kind of like that, actually. And then it would... Yeah, so just sort of like her... Like, her bangs, I guess, would come out over top of that. Yeah, I think this is good. And then have that go behind her ear. Okay, so I lied when I said that this was going to be temporary. I think I am going to do this. Yeah, let's grab that. Something about this looks very Karate Kid, but I kind of like that. Yeah, gives her a little bit more personality, I think. Let me hide the hat for a second. Now you can see all the weird geometry that I never got to. But I want to just get that out here. And also, one great thing is that now I can show less of her hair. And the hair is always full of, like, baking artifacts because it's got, like, self-intersections and stuff like that. Which is one... like, it's always easier to bake, like, a watertight mesh than one that's, like, a bunch of stuff stuck together like this one is. Sorry, I just need to... why... I shouldn't be in animation mode. That's... okay, so, let's get back to here. And I do want to go back to... here, material mode. Okay, so... let's hide... body for a second. Pull that all the way out here. And then there would be like a little knot, I guess, as well. Okay, so now all the pieces are visible. Okay, so. And let's get that hat back up. Yeah, cool. This is gonna need to come down then around these edges here. Add one more loop in here. I'm gonna clean this all up with the topology, so the topology sucks for now, but don't worry, it will be improved. Can I get it behind her ear and also not intersect with her hair? We can try. Okay, can we... It seems like this is very close quarters here. I might have to tweak the hair just a little bit. But, oh, here's what I could try. Let's get that hat. Okay, so we're gonna need to really use these here to get the shape right. Okay, so that's behind the ear. And now, oh, because her ear goes under her hair. I guess we'll just go over the ear with the, just slightly overlap the ear. I don't know. Might be something I need to tweak. She should be red in game. It would be very visible. Yeah, it would be. Unfortunately, that doesn't. People usually aren't quite that red unless they are sunburned like Connor. Yeah. Sorry, where'd my OBS window go? Yeah, there we go. What was I doing? Yeah, let's just go over the ear for now. Okay, enable the hat. Okay. So, How do these, bandana. Pirate bandana. Okay, so it would kind of... Actually, that's great. We can have it come out to the side, because then that'll cover a lot of the... We can have it just cover the whole ear. And then that way, we don't have to worry about the geometry looking weird there. Yeah. That makes sense. We'll do that. Okay, so... Where'd my reference go? If that goes behind her ear, but this guy, it just goes over the side. Now, obviously, these are not accurate costumes, but you know, it's a bandana. I think we can be a little bit we can interpret history loosely a little bit. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and just, let's say that's the that's one side of it, and I'm gonna pull out here. Okay, it doesn't quite look right yet, but just wait. It's gonna look great in a minute. How far does it come out to the side? Okay. So there's like a full-on knot here. And then it comes out. So what I'm gonna do is this will be our knot. And then this is the kind of thing that a lot of people would sculpt, but I am I very much dislike using the sculpt workflow in Blender. So instead, I'm going to use a regular sub-D, and I'm going to crease it. Although... Okay, let's turn off sub-D modifier for a minute. Because I often find that that's useful for getting some shapes worked out. Okay, so let's pull that out. Pull. Actually, we can make that all one. And then I'm gonna merge these two guys. Merge these two guys. Actually, I can merge these two as well. Whoopsies, not those two, these two. And we can pick the edge and merge. Okay, let's get the sub-D back. Yeah, now we can see the knot kind of travels all the way around. Is the hair a ponytail at the moment? Yeah, it is. It's not very... I thought she had a hair tie, but I might have accidentally removed it at some point. Yeah. I mean... feel like she probably wouldn't wear the hair loose. That might be a liability. In her piracy. Okay, so. Cool. Yeah, I'm just pulling this in, and then I'm gonna sort of splay it out at the bottom. And this. I'm gonna cut in here. Oopsies. Then we're gonna pull out the other side of this. Because it's it's one piece of cloth that's like folded and brought around. So also it should be closer to the top of her head in here. Okay, it is actually. Let's just take a quick view. It is starting to kind of look like the thing that it's supposed to be. But I feel like more of her hair should be poking out of it. Let's move that in. Let's move that in. Yeah, let's get it all the way close to her face. I feel like having a bit more hair loose would look good. Yeah. We can pull out some of her hair. I mean... Okay. So firstly, then, let's reveal a little bit more here. Get it over top of her eyebrow. So she's got this hair coming in here. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Okay, so let's just get that a little bit around here. So can we... Yeah, just her having more hair visible in general, I think, would be a good start. I am going to have to redo some of this afterwards to fix topology issues, but... Okay, one moment. Also, she should have a little bit of a tie, like a hair tie here. Which, you know what? I'm going to add a cube here, another cube. Everything starts as a cube. Then we're gonna... This is gonna be quite simple, and we can make this another color. Unless... Should it match? Let's make it red. just cause. So we'll rotate it so that it's here. I'm gonna shade smooth. The idea is it's just gonna be like a piece of cloth or something like that, like a strip of like, I don't think they had elastics back then, so I don't know what they would have used. I could do some research into that possibly. The bandana looks good for sure. Great. I'm glad I'm on the right track. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this. Gonna do material. Make this one red. Make it a little bit of a darker red. I don't know. Does that clash? So I'm gonna need to move some of this to match the shape of her hair. Okay, cool. Make it the same purple. Okay, that should be easy. We just that. I feel like it looks kind of weird being the same purple. You know what I mean? Because it looks like it's supposed to be part of the same thing, but then it's just disconnected. Also, yeah, subdiv that, and then scale it up just a tiny bit. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the red looks better, to me at least. Unless she would, like, use the bandana to tie her hair with. I don't know. I have to think about that. Anyway, let's finish with the bandana. Okay, so. Yeah, I'm just adding geometry willy-nilly to this bandana, but it's fine for now. The final version is obviously gonna be tweaked. Wait, actually, let's look at 1 second. I'm looking up some reference images. Okay, god damn it. Nobody in Wind Waker seems to be wearing a bandana. I can't use I thought that there were pirates in Wind. No, there are, but like, you know. Never mind. That's not gonna work. Okay. One more loop in here and then that's gonna do it for now. for that section at least. And then this we can obviously pull inward. Where's my, this is a handy little thing in Blender. We can show the modifications on the cage. Is this already creased? Yeah, why are we not showing that? Crease, there we go. Oh, that's not supposed to be creased. Oh, no. Shift-E. That's better. Oh, something looks messed up in there. We'll have to tweak that later. But let me just add a couple more loops in here. Yeah, this geometry is messed in here. Something's very wrong. But it's okay. We're just going to come back to it later. I just want to kind of make it come to like a point in here. She used the same cloth. Yeah, she could have. That makes sense. She's missing lower eyelashes. You're right. She is, but so is everybody else in the game. So we can save that for later. So this should really have a cut in here. If I can. Ugh, this is the problem with using the on cage. Yeah. What? No? Triangulate, but we want to triangulate the other way. Okay. Let's get back. Dissolve that guy in here. Yeah, something's not quite right. Anyway, let's just... Looks very messed up. Things are not quite going right on this one. Okay, so maybe I can, yeah, pull that in, probably. Just make that a tighter knot, I guess. Okay, that's a little bit better, I think. Yeah, I think one of the reasons why this looks so weird is because some of the things are bunched up here unevenly. I don't know. That's starting to look... Okay, so yeah, I think it would make sense that she would have used the same cloth. So let's do that. But maybe, just maybe... okay, so I'm going to tweak the shader for this. So... you see it's totally flat purple right now. So this won't be reflected in-game, but one thing we're going to do is we're going to do, we're going to take, we need to go into, okay, so for some reason, cycles, is the only renderer that supports this particular thing that I'm about to do. But I'm going to take the an input here, and I'm going to use geometry. And this is going to add some kind of highlights and stuff to the cloth, so we can sort of see the folds a little bit better. We're going to add a color ramp. We're going to take pointiness, we're going to put it into the color ramp. Then we're going to take the color ramp and go to base color. We're going to tweak this in a second, but now we can start pulling in these until we start seeing, there we go. Some, that does look a little odd. Oh, okay, we flipped these two bags in. So we start seeing some shading variations here. And so now, you can see we got kind of a darker purple, and well, it's not purple yet, but we're gonna make it purple. So I'm now gonna add a color, mix color here, and now take this and put it into the factor. And so now, in these dark spots, it's gonna go to color A, which is gonna be sort of a darker purple. And in the light spots, we can make it go to color B, which is gonna be, ooh, maybe like a, that's actually not bad. That's like almost a magenta. Yeah, but yeah, you can see that just a little color variation is quite helpful there. So I'm just gonna tweak some of this. Make sure that we can't see this underneath her hat. Go back to this mode for that. Just pull these in. Cool. Some of our hair is coming out though. Ugh. There we go. Now, I'm just gonna grab all of these and move them in there. Oopsies, although, not these ones. Just the ones at top here. Okay. We picked up more than we bargained for here. Okay, cool. Now, that's all hidden. So that's... Now, I would love to bake that. Unfortunately, we do not have the computing power to do that while streaming at the moment. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly do one quick thing. I'm gonna go into I'm gonna make these now okay, Control A, apply scale, and apply rotation. Okay, so now I think I'm going to take these and I'm going to make them a parent of the, make them parented by the bones. So now they're going to deform with her. And now we're going to go with automatic weights. And now, if we change her pose, go back to animation tab here. If we change her pose to, let's say, idle, now they move with her. So I should be able to export this, and these should show up as purple in the game. But I need to go to outliner here. Delete some of these actions I don't need, because that's gonna mess things. Okay, now we select her with her new accessories, and we're gonna go meshes, resources, Carmen. Where's Carmen? Here we go. Carmen.tlgf. Gonna take a minute to export because reasons. Let's see. How are we doing on yeah. Okay, so that has now exported. Let's get back into the game. Although, yeah, here we go. So, one thing I've noticed while doing these streams on Linux is, I don't know if it was like a Linux issue or some setup thing on my end, but by default, at least with this setup of Arch Linux, it seems to be much worse at running a lot of apps at once than Windows was. I used to be able to have like tons of like Blender windows open, and then if I wasn't using them, important section, if I wasn't using them, they wouldn't really interfere with the game or whatever. But yeah, just having them open seems to do something with this. Maybe Linux is not as aggressive at like swapping things out of memory when they're not being used. So I don't know. It's just a weird just a difference, I guess. But yeah, if anybody knows if there's... Oh, also, I did probably turn up my graphic settings on this more than they would need to. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit in case that's being a problem. Yeah, just reduce the shadows a little bit. But let's... Oh, yeah, let's go see Carmen. It should be the flat purple. It won't have any of the shading because that's just a Blender effect at this point because it hasn't been baked. And once again, I can't bake on... I'm going to... You know what? I have an idea for how I can bake on stream, but it's going to require me streaming... I might try this. I might try to stream from a different PC and use a capture device next time. And then we don't need to worry about the contention between different the different applications and OBS and everything. Because I think yeah, this is a little bug that we have there. He's not he's floating there, and I do have a way that I can fix this, but we will I will deal with that script bug in a second. Yeah, we have Ziz is floating in the middle of nowhere, but I do actually know what the issue is. Okay, let's take a look at her. Uh-oh. It's not showing up as a color. It's showing up as white. Okay, let's kill this guy here. Why is that the case? So, I guess the GLTF didn't... I mean... Because it's a solid color, I guess. So... Oh, here's what we can do. Okay, so I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna UV unwrap it. Because we do wanna... I guess we're gonna put this in the... So let's change the material to be the same as her... shirt or whatever. Believe that's main material in 001. Actually, we can check. Yeah, main material 001. So, main material 001. And then it all looks messed up now, but let's go to UV editing. We're going to copy everything here. UV unwrap. I don't really care what the... Oopsies, didn't mean to scale it there. So take all these. I'm going to scale them down to basically 1 pixel in the middle of nowhere. Then I'm going to paint in a little bit of purple. Just so that it shows up for now. So we're going to go to texture paint. And there's where we made everything. Now I'm going to make that sort of a purple magenta, I guess. Okay, cool. Now, if we go back, image, save. Cool. Now it's purple. And now, let's re-export that. Huh. Let's get our music, actually. Oh, I accidentally turned off parallax mapping. Music. Now, when that finishes, we should be able to reload. Yeah, this soda is really bad, actually. Yeah. Okay, we're done. Now, I'm gonna take Carmen here. You go to her character. No, not her character. Her mesh. Reload the... Yeah. Oh. Did I not export her eyes? Maybe reload that. Okay, there we go. What happened to her eyes, though? Now we got the purple, but... Oh, whoopsies. Alright. Oh, probably because we changed the... Yeah, okay, cool. There we go. There we go. That fixed it. Cool. Now she's all good. Yeah, we also... It's shiny, but... Okay, there we go. Well, anyway, she has her little bandana now. That's fine. Although, I am noticing now, the, there's no physics on it. It's just kind of sticking out there. So, we do actually have the ability to put physics on it. Is that something that we're going to do on stream today? I don't know, because you can actually see Luigi has a little bit of physics on his ponytail. He kind of settles after we jump. So we could do the same thing with her, both for her ponytail and her. You know, it actually looks... The geometry of it actually looks better in... It actually looks okay. It's not as messed up as maybe I thought it was. But anyway. So. What time is it? Okay. Let's see. Why don't we do hair physics? Let's do that. Okay. So. The way we're gonna... How are we gonna... No, actually, that is gonna take a long time, so we're not gonna do that. I just had to think about how long that would take. But I can kind of explain how it works with Luigi. But I do probably need to work on the workflow a little bit. But, let's see. So, you can see that actually, Luigi, he's a prefab here, so you can see that there's these sections. So, there's chain 0, and so basically he has a bunch of, like, fake colliders here, right? So, and then you have his hair is actually a bunch of tiny rigid bodies. I don't know if we can see that, maybe. And they're attached to the bones. So, chain 1. Where is it? I don't know why it's not. Okay, here it is. Yeah, so here's the bottom collider here. It's kind of like they're all capsules, right? Yeah. And then you can see that there's like little bits. Yeah, here's that. And you can see, yeah, there's a bit of his neck in here. Each one is attached to a bone. And basically they do physics. Oh, hi Firefly. I'm just explaining how the hair physics works. Basically, he has a bunch of like sort of proxy colliders that do the hair, and then the hair it's basically the rigid bodies, right? And they just do physics. So when he jumps, they kind of, yeah, his hair reacts. Now I would like to do that with Carmen. Unfortunately, I feel like setting all that. I need better tools for it, to be honest. Because I would need to give her extra bones for the stuff. Then I would need to create all those rigid bodies and then tune the constraints so that they don't explode. And that's the part that would take forever. And so maybe I do that on a different stream, or I do that off stream. I'm not sure. But okay, so we worked on getting the skeletons to be visible. Let's check out. Like, I realize a lot of what I do on this, like, this is kind of the deal with having an open world game, is that just, like, being able to see things is really important. And having things stand out from the background. I hope this fires, obviously. The fires really helps, which is why several of the people you need to find are next to fires. So if we go down here to where Pierre was, or is, you can actually see a fire. Carmen is actually the... No. Carmen and Ramon don't have fires, but... Yeah. Oopsies. He should probably not be directly behind there. Where's his start point? Okay, well there's the post-it. Okay. Oh, I know what I said I was gonna do. There was the bug with There was the bug with Ziz. So if we go over to Ziz here, we can... Whoopsies. Yeah. Well, now he came up. But anyway, you can see that if we start the game, Ziz is kind of floating in the ether. Yes. And that is because I made an optimization recently. The optimization is that now, anytime a physics object is spawned, it, yeah, see? Ziz is floating in the ether. Anytime a physics object is spawned now, it's not active by default. Now, basically, if you would start this game on a computer that doesn't have a very powerful processor, or you're running in debug mode, you would get like a big lag spike as soon as you started the game. That's because all the physics objects would like react immediately and then settle, right? So what I did is I made it so that by default, now physics objects start deactivated, so they only are active when you sort of come near them. But the problem is Ziz is trying to teleport, but he can't because he's not active. So one way we could fix that is if we go to ziz.as, I believe, if C-line would respond. Come on. Do I have to restart C-line? Exit. Yeah, not the most reliable program in the world. Is it going to start up? There we go. Yeah, I don't know how I created that extra tab. Cool. Okay, here we are. Is this.s? This is what I wanted to find. Okay, so we have boss state nesting. So basically, I can do POBJ dot activate, and that's just going to set into active when the game starts. And then actually we should do... No, that's probably fine. That's probably fine. It's probably fine to keep him active. So now if we start the game, let's see, is that... There we go. He's no longer floating. Let's just pick him, and then we're gonna jump to. There we go. Now he's perched properly. These guys have not fallen down, even though And that's because they're deactivated. These are just the ragdolls. But if I click this guy and I click wake up, all of a sudden he collapses, which is interesting. Yeah, the physics, it's kind of fun, actually. Just seeing these guys collapse into a heap of bones. But anyway, so I need to figure out some way to solve them. Because once again, the physics object isn't active until you interact with it, right? Now, that saved a lot of processing power, because if you look at, like, for example, where's a guava tree? Yeah, the guava tree's over here. Each guava tree has several guavas on it, and each one of these is an individual physics object. So, and the reason for that is because if I take the player, teleport him here, so it's because, look, bonk. That's kind of fun, isn't it? So basically, because there were so many of those, that was causing a significant frame time spike right at the beginning of the game. Oh, there's one more thing I can show off that I did recently. And, so we can't bake in Blender on stream, but now we can bake lighting on stream because I implemented partial rebaking. So, one way I can show you how this works is basically, now you can see if I go into like a cave or something, yeah, this cave. You can see it's dark in here. It's dark in the cave, right? That is because of the GI. Now, it used to be that I had to basically spend 20 minutes to bake the entire island. I recently increased the resolution of the ambient lighting. Double. Actually, well, it was more like 10 to 15 minutes. I sped it up so that my 15-minute bake took 10 minutes. Right? But then I increased the resolution of the thing by 2 on each axis, so 4 times. And now it takes 40 minutes to bake. So that is completely unusable. I can't spend 40 minutes baking GI for the entire island every time. But what I decided to do was now I can bake partial GI. So if I can show you an example of that. Yeah, here we go. Let's go to, let's go here. So you can see it's dark inside the, it's dark inside the little barracks here, right? So, if I take this front piece off and I let the light in, let's do both of those. I'm going to undo it in a second, but, and now if I go to, so now you can see there should be light coming in there, but it isn't. I can go to spherical harmonics, and, this saves me so much time. I can do 3 bounces. I usually do 3 bounces. And I can do capture all SH4. And there we go. It did it in like 2 seconds. It brightened it up. Let's move more of these just so that we can really show it getting bright. So, where's vertical marks? See, it brightened up all in there. Now I'm going to undo that because I didn't actually want to make that light in there. So now I'm in here. It is dark in here, but it's not dark enough as it should be. So now I'm going to go capture again, and it should be reacting to that. Did nothing change? Okay, well, interesting. But yeah, so basically, it takes... I can do, like, just the section around the camera. And it now only takes, like, 2 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. if you don't really understand what I'm talking about with the GI, I can show you a very interesting view on, or at least I think it's interesting. So let's go to lighting.f. Let's go to our shader, and I'm just going to uncomment a line in the shader. And then we will be able to see the just the contribution of the ambient light. So this is kind of a interesting view. So you can see there's no direct lighting. There's no shadows or anything here. This is just the ambient term. This includes SSAO as well. So you can see you have this under the trees. It gets like darkened from ambient light, but also you get a little bounce. There's a tiny tinge of green in here because it's bouncing off this grass, which is green, but it's maybe not obvious that that's what that is. Also, you can see it under here. It's dark in here, and that's because of the ambient lighting. Actually, we can go into this. That's not a cave. Actually, never mind. But this waterfall is a cave. I actually want to see what it looks like in there. In just the ambient mode. Wait, how did I get all the way over here? Anyway. Yeah, you can also see, like, look, the sand is reflecting onto the trees and the rocks and everything. And you can see that once you see here, we have kind of a little bit of green reflected onto us. But if we walk over onto the sand, now all of a sudden it's sand colored, if that makes sense. So yeah, this view is just the ambient light. So like any light that's not like in direct line of sight of the sun, you know what I mean? And yeah, you can see on the bottom these crabs are getting a little bit of bounce lighting. So if we can bring that back, I don't have shader hot reload, unfortunately. We can bring that back to everything, and you can see, hopefully that made sense, where the contribution, what the ambient light is actually doing to the scene. Okay. I don't know, man, this is really bad. Okay, so what did we do? We got, the bandana. We got the skeletons looking a little bit nicer. Unfortunately, not the most productive stream I've had so far. But let's see if we can save it. What can we do in the last half hour or so to get some... I know. Okay, so, you know, this is always something. Oh, I didn't mean to trigger as is, but he'll be fine. Actually, let's restart a fresh instance here. Let's work on some empty ass areas of the game, which is always something nice to do. There is pretty much nothing over here. There's a couple trees, but let's fill some of these in. So, I mean, first of all, how the hell would you get here? Oh, you're not supposed to see that. Let's take our guy here. Let's figure out how we would get up here, because that's... I did add this cave here. That is one thing here. This cave here was mostly added for test purposes. I didn't actually, I can't remember if I put anything in here. Let's find out. But basically, there's no good way to get here. We should first of all make this place accessible to the player. Why don't we start carving a path? So I guess you would come in through this way. So let's go into terrain and let's start sculpting things. And of course there's no music for this section because it's not a section, it's not a place people go. But we can add the chill music and let's start sculpting. Yeah. Let's just add a little bit of carving a path here. A little mountain pass. I'm gonna do quadratic. I find that actually I should set the default to quadratic because I don't know what I was thinking with Gaussian. It doesn't seem to work as well for messing with terrain. Like, it was a good theoretical function. Like, a Gaussian is like a bell curve, if you're not familiar. But yeah. Let's kind of cut this away. Let's see. Can we actually get up here? Gonna start with a really big brush. Just keep it coarse and easy to work with. Okay, so. Yeah, I kind of, there's a little bit of a thing going on here when I was trying to work on, like, erosion. But, this is too steep to really climb. So, let's go to our player here. Let's flatten. And now, this is walkable enough, yeah. Now let's fix the occlusion. Subtract a little bit more. Alright. Clean that up. Friggin', I should make it automatically rebuild the occluders, because it doesn't take that long. Gotta head out, but thanks for the stream. Well, you're welcome. I will see you next week, I hope. Sorry, yeah. Okay. So now we have kind of a pass here. A little mountain pass. Can we sort of flatten this out so that it's more climbable? Using a real big brush for now. Okay. Yeah, so. This we can get up. I'm gonna need to paint in some different textures here, but I think. Oh, where did our music go? We went into an area without music. Let's work on the textures here. So let's go to texture paint. Let's get that music. And I'm going to get rid of this sand texture and replace it with a more interesting texture. Because I think, maybe not that one, maybe that one? Yeah. We're going to mix a couple different textures together because But yeah, it's a little bit worn. It's like a little bit of a... And I'm going to put the path texture in here too. But yeah, one of the ways you can hide tiling, because you can actually see... One of the... This looks really bad because all like one flat texture. But you should really mix up your textures because it hides some of the repetition in each texture, if that makes sense. So, now let's take this guy. Let's reduce the brush size a little bit down the middle. I'm going to decrease the strength here. Decrease the strength so it paints in a little bit more patchy-like. Even lower than that. Like a 0.1. Yeah, there we go. We can kind of do like a disjointed path here. Let's say like there are some animals that were going up here, or maybe the native Kalinago people were exploring this area for their own reasons that we will never know. Yeah, hopefully that's obvious enough as a path. Even though it's a little bit disjointed, but that's kind of the point. This is not the, it's not a super well-traveled path like the other ones. Yeah, we can keep the grass texture, but let's put a couple, let's have it kind of fade in with these. Like little juts out of rock texture into our sort of patchy greenery texture. Because, like, I don't think the walls would be pure stone. I think they'd be kind of mixed in with different vegetation, if that makes sense. But yeah, if there's anything I think I learned this stream, it's that I think we might... Like, there's many things I can't show you because they're too computationally intensive to show you while I'm streaming. But I think maybe I should look into using a second PC to do the OBS stream. And then I can use my capture device to capture it from this PC. Then I can kind of do what I want. And also, I don't need to worry about any kind of Linux issues with OBS. I mean, assuming the other PC is not running Linux, but I mean, we could try different things. But yeah, I do have extra PCs. None of them are up to the level of this one. I mean, even this one's a little bit old now, but they will suffice for that purpose, I think. Yeah. Okay, so now let's go back to our player perspective. And let's save this. Actually, this should probably be a little bit more rocky. Here. But now so can we, I think we should have a little bit of vegetation here. So I'm going to do a very small, add a new entity, plant spawner, add a transform, put it here. Where is this? Go to free camera. Where's the cell size? 1 by 1. Okay, cool. This is going to be a very small spawner. 8 cells, let's say. And then by 16? 8 by 16? Uh, 8 by 32. Okay. Yeah, it's just going to sort of spawn exactly through this path. And I'm actually going to delete this guy, because... Ooh, where's the last guy I just created? It is this guy. Tree spawner. Save. Okay, cool. Yeah. Let's... 64. Yeah, let's... And then by 16. Let's have it fill up this gap here. And then I'm going to add a layer. I'm going to add a layer of ferns. You can see some spawned in here already. Where's the, why are they only spawning in down there? Okay. Oh, I see, because they're not in LOD view. Oh, yeah, that's actually quite a few of them. Okay, so now I'm going to take my... I'm going to save that. Going to go to terrain. And we're just going to add a little bit of a cut through here with the vegetation mask. Right in the middle. And that's going to prevent... prevent the ferns from spawning right in the path. Rebuild vegetation again. We're gonna, yeah, keep this going. Rebuild. Okay. Then, now, save that. Let's add some more different plants here. First of all, let's, actually... We still have the terrain thing active. Mountain pass. Okay, so. A couple ferns makes it more interesting, but not interesting enough. Although, we need to move that. Just gonna add a little bit of the dirt texture here. Yeah, okay, that. Okay, so, save that. I am gonna finish it, no matter how terrible it is, but it's definitely the worst soda that I've had on this program. Okay, so let's add a new layer of some kind of plant. What plants would be growing up here? I guess we could... Ooh, let's do this. Cyathea arborea. Yeah. I don't know, like, the one picture on Wikipedia of, like, Cyathea arborea has them on a mountain, or what looks like a mountain to me, at least. So that I always kind of put them up in mountains. Oh, God, come on. There we go. Yeah. Look at that. Where is this? La Soufrière. La Soufrière. Guadalupe. It is a mountain. Beautiful. So let's... Yeah. These are... You can hopefully it's clear that that's what those are. Okay, so let's bring these guys a little bit downward here. Also, let's space them out a little bit more. There we go. And they need to be brought down lower so that they're actually not poking out. Cool. Oh, the angle. I gotta tweak the max angle. Yeah. Just so that we don't have any of them spawning, like, on the side here of a cliff where they doesn't really make sense. And then we can make them match the, where's the... There's a ground angle alignment. So, that, see? It kind of makes them match the angle of the ground. I usually have that up to like a 0.5 or something like that. So they are tilted a little bit, and that kind of helps look a little bit nice. So. Just another little area. Now, I should add something interesting here, because I don't want the thing to just be like basically purely jungle. But, might have to do it. Okay, so can we actually get all the way down from here? I mean, we probably technically can. Because there's nothing... Yeah, it's doable. It's probably just not obvious. So, should I keep it as kind of a secret passage? I don't know. Yeah, you can get up there. It's just a little probably non-obvious. So, should I keep secrets for the clever people? That would be... Yeah, can we just walk right up here? Let's see. Yeah, you totally can just walk right up here. Yeah, because... I do kind of wonder, it's like, are there certain things I shouldn't signpost? I think probably I should err on the end of signposting everything. And then if I'm gonna make something like hidden, it should be like a small thing. And it should be, like, let's say, oopsies. Didn't mean to do that. It should be a small thing, like, for example, here, down where the waterfall is. I mean, this I barely even consider hidden, because I feel like if people see a waterfall in a game, they're immediately going to be like, where is the hidden cave, right? And you're about to see that, in fact, there is a hidden cave, if we can get in here. Yeah. Secret waterfall cave. Just as you might have expected. And on top of all these rocks, actually, I do... a little bit of a reflection bug there. I'll need to tweak that. On top of all these is a chest. And we get a stamina boost. Which doesn't have an icon yet. But we have now permanently increased our stamina by 25%. As you can see by that long stamina bar. All right. Let's... Okay, what do we got? We got a couple minutes left. What are we gonna do? You know, finish this disgusting soda. Oh, you should have saved with the thing here, but oh yeah, one cool thing I added was because I was trying to take screenshots and I was having a lot of difficulty because I was trying to take it at like a very specific moment, like I was trying to dodge that. But so now, I paused, but I'm at the wrong frame that I wanted. So what I added was actually a couple things. But, this little, now if I press F10, wait, come on. Oh, I have to, enable that, sorry. If I press F10, we do one frame at a time, advancing, in the physics. And, now I can get the exact frame I wanted to, where he's like, the arc of his swing is at that point or whatever, right? That's also what I was doing when I was tweaking the, I was tweaking this animation because I wanted to take a screenshot of it. And so I made the arc of his swing, like, a little bit more, like a stronger pose, you know what I mean? Hopefully that makes sense. Oh, he just hit his friend. But, we can, yeah, another thing I added actually now, so if I can, I don't even have to, like, time the roll properly. I can just do enemy AI controller, sorry, character. I can force him to attack, right, by hitting this button here. Then I can go ahead, start stepping. So he's gonna pull up his thing. Now I can click Louise here, and I can click roll right, let's say. And now, he starts rolling. And it's also fun because I get to see the, and so now he dodges, right? And so that's great for getting screenshots. It is a little bit staged, but, I mean, it is still, yeah. It's very hard to actually get the shot that you want just by playing the game normally. Like, it's possible. But it's just like, you really want to be able to replicate a screenshot, hopefully. So that's why I added those things, because it was driving me nuts trying to get those things done. But also, I think having the skeletons a little bit lighter is nice too, I guess. Ouch. It helps the look. So. Rolling. I'm rolling. Okay, so, what was I gonna do? Yeah. Let's see if I can get him with the cannon. Oh yeah, so there's another, I found, or rather, some players found some issues, with the stealth. So, this is a feature that I'm going to need to add that I haven't done yet. So if we... Let's teleport here for a second. We can sneak. Now if we sneak into this... into here. Can we see? Can we see? Okay, we can see these guys. They can't see us, and they can't hear us because we're sneaking. But... you would think that when you get into here, I can stand up. And that's fine. But if I run even for a second, there, see? It's alerted him because he can hear me running. Now, the thing is, I need to somehow make it so that the sound doesn't propagate through the wall. But that's a little complicated because... what counts as a wall? Like, I could do like a line of sight check, but that's gonna make it so that you can't hear me from behind a tree. Now, presumably you can hear from behind a tree, but it's, I think the thing that makes it so you can't hear through here is that it's closed. I'm not quite sure. I need to do some thinking how I'm gonna manage that. But basically, I need to make it so that you can't be heard somehow. But that's kind of complicated. And I gotta figure it out. I got a lot of things to think about. Yeah. So, I want to thank you guys all for sticking around to till the end of stream, because it is now 4 o'clock, but, it's a bit of a discombobulated stream. I'm, trying to figure some things out. But I do want to thank you for tuning in, and do not forget to like and subscribe, like this video. Leave a comment afterwards when the VOD goes up if you want. Also, do not forget to wishlist the game on Steam, link down below this video, and join the Discord, because I would love you guys all to see me there. And with that, I gotta head out. I got other things I gotta do. I gotta finish doing all the baking that I couldn't show you on stream. But next week, maybe we'll be able to show you that. Can't promise anything, but anyway, I'll see you guys